Hey everyone, welcome to my February wrap up, and I read a total of 15 books and one was an audiobook, so 16. And yeah, it was a really great reading month. I was really trying to keep up with my Goodreads goals, so that obviously made me read so many more than I could. First book here is Unmarked by Cami Garcia, and this is the sequel to her other book, The Legion, and I really like this series. It's kind of creepy. It also has a little bit of like code breaking, and like it kind of made me remember like the Da Vinci Code, where they're always like trying to find the next clue. So I really liked it. I gave this one, I think, a 3 out of 5. This is the Mediator series. I reread this one, and this one is the second book. This is the 9th key. Still really like this series. Suze is hilarious. I gave it a 4 out of 5. And the next book here is Black Hearts by Nicole Casterman. This is supposed to be a retelling of Blackbeard, and I actually thought it was Bluebeard. My bad. But the only thing that I really didn't like about this was that it wasn't set on a ship like how the book is telling you that it is, because there's a ship in that bottle there. But yeah, I give this one a 4 out of 5. The audiobook that I listened to is Why Not Me by Mindy Kaling. She is hilarious. I still really like this book. It's listening to her voice is just so much more fun than reading it, but I didn't get to see any of the photos because sometimes she has photos, and maybe I'll just flip through it. I gave this one a 4 out of 5, or was it a 5? This is Blue Screen by Dan Wells. What I really liked about this is that this is like a hacker kind of book, and our main character is also Mexican. I'm not sure if you can really tell that she is in that cover, but yeah, she's supposed to be a person of color. I really like this one. I flew through it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. Here is First Life by Jenna Showalter. I think that's how you say it. This one I had a lot of trouble with. I DNF'd it. Like, I set it aside twice, and then I had to pick it up again just because I was almost done and I wanted to get it read. It's alright. The last part really did make up for most of it. It's basically about 2 warring factions, and one of them is both of them are trying to get her on their side, and that's pretty much the gist of it. The girl was super annoying, I don't know. And yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 5. This is Illuminate by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Love this series. I want to say it's a science fiction space adventure with like a zombie-like virus. That's all I can say about it. It was crazy, very creative. Gave it a 5 out of 5. This is Beautiful Bastard by Christina Lauren. This is kind of like a romance erotica. There is a lot of sexy times in it, and it was pretty hot, I have to say. It's basically about this girl who is an assistant to her boss, and he is kind of a jerk. That's basically the whole story, and I gave it a 3 out of 5. Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. Love this book. It was very, very, I don't know, it was just, felt like I was dropped in her world and I just stayed there. It's a time-traveling pirate kind of historical book. That's all I can describe it. There was a lot of eras that they jumped through to, and I really enjoyed it. It was very creative. I gave it a 4 out of 5. This is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, and it's about 4 main characters in World War II who are just trying to survive. One of them is a German, another one is a Lithuanian, I believe, and then one is a Polish, and then the other one is Prussian. I think those were the main characters. And what I didn't know about this, it was actually more about a ship that sank called the Guslav. I'm probably saying that incorrectly. I will try to find the name here. It was just kind of heartbreaking, and I didn't even know that it happened, and I'm kind of glad that this book touched upon it. There was, I don't know, it was just, it felt too real reading it. I gave it a 4 out of 5. And here is the next book. This is Salt and Storm by Kendall Culper. I did not finish this one. I think I got like kind of halfway through. I got bored of it. It's supposed to be about witches and this girl with her grandma and her mother, and they're all like fighting and warring, and I don't know, I just felt kind of bored. The love interest was it was too fast. So instant love, yeah, it was complete instant love. So I gave it a 2 out of 5. The writing is good. It's just, I don't know. I wanted something more to happen, especially with the magic. This is We Are the Ants by Sean David Hutchinson. Loved this book. This is probably one of my most poignant books that I read. There are a lot of quotes that I got from it, and I just really enjoyed it. I kind of want to say it reminded me a bit about Aristotle and Dante. Oh my gosh, I'm totally butchering that name, but it's I'll put the name here. I forgot the whole name, but it kind of reminded me of that. It's also about a boy who is gay, so trying to come to terms with his boyfriend's death. So I gave this one a 5 out of 5. This is Love Unscripted by Tina Rebar. I've been actually reading a little bit more of romance lately. So this is basically about a small town girl who ends up falling in love with a celebrity, and he's this very famous celebrity. And I read through it. I was looking for more sex scenes, but there wasn't as much, which I kind of liked, because it really made me feel like this is just me watching a movie where the normal girl ends up, you know, with the guy. So I gave it a 3, or was it a 4? I think it was a 3 out of 5. It was just super long. It's a very realistic read. Yeah, I gave it a 3. The Widow by Fiona Barton. I got this unsolicited. I heard stuff about it, and I didn't know it was going to be about child pedophilia, and there was pedophiles in it, and it was kind of hard to read. I mean, it's not exactly straight from the person's point of view, but there are just certain points where you're like, oh gosh, and your mind just starts thinking, and you're like, okay. I don't know. I had to set this book aside because some points were too much for me. It was really tough to read through, but I got to it and I gave it a 4 out of 5. This is Morningstar by Pierce Brown. Last book in the series. Not gonna delve too much into the plot, just saying that I really love Servo, and when Pierce was here in Toronto and he said the quote that Servo says, I'm just gonna say that this book, shit escalates like tenfold. I couldn't put this book down. I gave it a 5 out of 5. I'm kinda really glad this series is over, but at the same time I'm really excited for the next series, which is going to be Iron Gold, and it's going to be from the Gold's point of view. Kind of excited. And then here is the Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. I read this with Johanna from Maggie Bookshelf. We both loved it. It was very detailed, there's a lot of research that were involved, and you can tell that Alison did her research because I had to Google some of the clothing, and some of the words and dialogue that she used were from that time. So I just really loved it. It was a very good paranormal kind of historical read, and I'm excited to see where she's taking us. I gave this one a 4 out of 5. And I also have to mention that she's going to be on this like Penguin Teen Tour here in Toronto, and I am going to it. So if you are going, let me know because I will be there. That is it for me. I hope you guys had an awesome February reading month, and I'll see you next time. Bye, book nerds.